additional doses of AstraZeneca COVID-19 vaccines. The Acting Assistant Secretary, Bureau of South and Central Asian Affairs, Dean Thompson, also informed that the U.S. has provided over $500 million in COVID-19 relief supplies to India to fight against the pandemic. Earlier, the White House had announced that the U.S. will be sending 60 million doses of AstraZeneca vaccine to other countries, and this will start from June of 2021. The External Affairs Minister, Dr. S. Jaishankar, and the U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken held bilateral discussions at the State Department. The External Affairs Minister is on a trip to Washington, and that trip has drawn to a close. Both the leaders discussed a wide range of issues, which include COVID-19 relief, efforts to strengthen Indo-Pacific cooperation through the Quad, and a shared commitment to combating the climate crisis and enhancing multilateral cooperation, including at the UN Security Council. Secretary Blinken and the EAM, Jaishankar, they also discussed regional developments, the coup in Myanmar, and also continuing support for Afghanistan. Both the leaders pledged to continue their cooperation on shared economic and regional security priorities. In a brief remark, in their remarks to the press, in fact, before their meeting, the External Affairs Minister, Dr. S. Jaishankar, expressed his thanks to the United States for its solidarity and support to India at a moment of great difficulty for the country.
We have a lot of issues to discuss. I think our relations have grown stronger over the years, and I'm very confident they'll continue to do so. But I also want to take the opportunity to express to the Secretary and through him to the administration, to the United States for the strong support and solidarity at a moment of great difficulty for us. As he said, we have plenty to talk about, but I thought that's something I should express.
And Secretary Blinken, in his remarks, said that the partnership between the two countries was vital, strong, and increasingly productive, and that they had a lot to discuss.
The United States and India are working together on so many of the most important challenges of our time, and ones that are having a profound impact on the lives of our citizens. We're united in confronting COVID-19 together. We're united in dealing with the challenge posed by climate change, and we are partnered together directly through the Quad and other institutions of the United Nations in dealing with many of the challenges that we face in the region and around the world. The partnership between the United States and India is vital. It's strong.
Later, after the bilateral talks with the U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken, the External Affairs Minister S. Jaishankar, in a series of tweets, said, and I quote, "Pleasure to meet U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken. A productive discussion on various aspects of our bilateral cooperation, as well as regional and global issues. Covered Indo-Pacific and the Quad, Afghanistan, Myanmar, UNSC matters, and other international organizations." In another tweet, the EAM said, and I quote, "Also focused on India-US vaccine partnership aimed at expanding access and ensuring supply. Appreciated strong solidarity expressed by US at this time. Today's talks have further solidified our strategic partnership and enlarged our agenda of cooperation." The External Affairs Minister, Dr. S. Jaishankar, who is on a 5-day visit to the United States, discussed wide-ranging issues related to shared priorities and regional security challenges, including the Quad, during his meeting with the Secretary of State Antony Blinken and the Secretary of Defense Lloyd Austin as well.
To work with the U.S. On the vaccine production issue, because the United States, in terms of the supply chain for vaccines, the U.S. is absolutely indispensable. Our endeavor is to expand our production of vaccines in India, and that is something where we will work with the U.S. to make that possible. The second is, as I pointed out, to engage a new administration. It has its worldview. We they need to hear ours. We're looking at the contemporary challenges. We have convergence on many important issues.
Addressing the media in Washington, D.C., the EAM, Dr. S. Jaishankar, said that talks on regulatory, legal, commercial and supply chain side, these talks are going on between companies concerned and entities with authorized people in India.
There are ongoing conversations on the regulatory side, on the legal side, on the commercial side, and on the supply chain side. Okay? These are going on between the companies concerned and the entities, the authorized people in India. In many cases, the embassy, the ambassador personally, many of his colleagues have also been, dealing with the companies, either the companies that manufacture the vaccines or the companies that are part of the supply chain.
You're watching the Midday News here on DD News and DD India. We're going to take a short break, but there's a lot more after that. Stay with us.
रविवार को हमारे साथ होंगे विशेषज्ञ जो बात करेंगे कोविड-19 से संबंधित जटिलताओं के बारे में। इस विषय से जुड़े सवाल आप पूछ सकते हैं हमारे टोल फ्री नंबर 1800111234 पर। साथ ही आप अपने प्रश्न कार्यक्रम के दौरान ईमेल कर सकते हैं ddnewstotalhealth@gmail.com पर। तो देखिए रविवार 30 मई सुबह 8:30 बजे टोटल हेल्थ सिर्फ डीडी न्यूज पर।
Welcome back. Well, India has expressed strong opposition to the unwarranted references made by the President of the United Nations General Assembly, Volkan Bozkir, on Jammu and Kashmir. The MEA spokesperson, Arindam Bagchi, while responding to remarks made by Bozkir, said, "We express our strong opposition to the unwarranted references made with respect to the Indian Union Territory of Jammu and Kashmir by the President of the United Nations General Assembly, Volkan Bozkir, during his recent visit to Pakistan." The MEA spokesperson said that the UNGA's president, his remarks that Pakistan is duty-bound to raise the issue in the UN more strongly are unacceptable, nor indeed is there any basis for comparison to other global situations. When an incumbent president of the UN General Assembly makes misleading and prejudiced remarks, he does great disservice to the office he occupies. The MEA spokesperson further said the President of the General Assembly's behavior is truly regrettable and surely diminishes his standing on a global platform. Prime Minister Narendra Modi will share his thoughts with the people of the country and abroad in Man Ki Baat on All India Radio tomorrow. It will be the 77th episode of this monthly radio program. It will be broadcast on the entire network of All India Radio and Doordarshan, and also on the news website of All India Radio and also on the mobile app of All India Radio. It will also be streamed live on the YouTube channels of All India Radio, DD News, the Prime Minister's Office and the Information Broadcasting Ministry. AIR will broadcast the program in regional languages immediately after the Hindi broadcast. The centre has invited Hindus, Sikhs, Jains, Buddhists, Parsis and Christians belonging to Afghanistan, Bangladesh and Pakistan and residing in 13 districts of Gujarat, Rajasthan, Chhattisgarh, Haryana and Punjab to apply for Indian citizenship. The Union Home Ministry issued the notification in this regard on Friday for immediate implementation of the order under the Citizenship Act of 1955. People who are eligible to apply for Indian citizenship are those currently living in the districts of Morbi, Rajkot, Patan and Vadodara of Gujarat, Durg and Baloda Bazar in Chhattisgarh, Jalore, Udaipur, Pali, Parmer and Sirohi in Rajasthan, Faridabad in Haryana and Jalandhar in Punjab. The National Defence Academy today held its passing out parade for the 140th batch. Nearly 300 candidates are currently taking part in the NDA's passing out parade. In addition, the Indian Navy's Chief of Naval Staff, Admiral Karambir Singh, is reviewing the office as officer of the passing out parade. And in addition, other officers of the armed forces were also present during the passing out parade. The passing out parade of the National Defence Academy marks an important step for the cadets as they receive their ranks on their shoulders, following which they officially become commissioned officers in the Indian Army. On the third occasion, when the prestigious passing out parade is held under the shadow of COVID-19, in fact, every year, in fact, 2 batches of cadets pass out from India's premier Tri-Services Military Academy in Pune to continue with 1 more year of pre-commissioning training at the academies of their respective forces. Now, while addressing the NDA graduates, Admiral Karambir Singh congratulated the candidates and also encouraged them to begin their journeys in the service of the nation.
Straight ahead, you will see 3 Sukhoi 30 MKI aircraft approaching the quarter deck, bidding farewell to the passing out course. Battalion Cadet Adjutant Mausam Watts. Winner of the President's Silver Medal, Battalion Cadet Captain Jaywant Tamrakar. Winner of the President's Bronze Medal, Academy Cadet Captain Neeraj Singh Papola. Winner of the Chiefs of Staff banner, Golf Squadron.
I extend my heartiest congratulations to all cadets passing out from the portals of this illustrious academy today. The National Defence Academy is an iconic institution. It's a unique military academy which attracts the best of youth from our nation and friendly foreign countries. The Academy's credo of Seva Paramo Dharma has guided generations of officers in service of the nation. Remember, the Indian Armed Forces have a rich legacy where our personnel have proved their mettle time and again. As proud inheritors of such a great legacy, much is expected of you. You are the future of the services and the nation. From this point onwards, everything you have trained for will start to make sense to you. Because in the armed forces, you train as you fight, and you fight as you train.
A total of 198 Short Service Commission officers passed out of the portals of the Indian Army's Officers Training Academy in Chennai today. They included 167 gentlemen cadets and 31 women cadets who took part in an impressive parade at the Parameshwaran Square in the OTA on the occasion. The parade was reviewed by Lieutenant General Y.K. Joshi, the General Officer Commanding-in-Chief of the Northern Command. Addressing the gathering, he reminded the graduating cadets that victory in war depended not on technology or the numbers, but on the quality of leadership provided to the forces. He urged them to reorient themselves to the connection between emerging technology and being soldiers, and that this has changed, in fact, the face of conflict in the modern era, is what he said. He emphasized the importance of jointness in conduct of military operations to propel the much-needed integration of the armed forces. Major Vibhuti Shankar Dundiyal, who made the supreme sacrifice at Pulwama in 2019, was posthumously awarded the Shaurya Chakra. Today, his wife, Nikita Kaul, donned the Indian Army uniform after passing out of the OTA China, OTA Chennai, and paying him a befitting tribute. Lieutenant General Y.K. Joshi, the General Officer and Commanding-in-Chief of the Northern Command, reviewed the passing out parade himself, and he put the stars on her shoulder.
We'll go past shooting dice, slow march, taking their final step.
The ceremony also saw the graduation of 5 gentlemen cadets and 7 women cadets from the Mountain Kingdom of Bhutan.
Unforgettable quiver whenever they hear the tune of Auld Lang Syne, to the strains of which these young men and women pass out from the Officers Training Academy today.
Sword of Honor and Officers Training Academy Gold Medal. Academy Cadet Adjutant Abdesh Katoch. Officers Training Academy Silver Medal. Battalion Under Officer Adarsh Pratap Singh. Officers Training Academy Bronze Medal. Battalion Cadet Adjutant Mani Mehtab Dhaliwal. Chief of Army Staff Banner, Meghtila Company.
Moving on to other news now, at least 27 people from half a dozen villages lost their lives. This is after consuming spurious liquor in the Aligarh district of Uttar Pradesh. 10 people are reported to be in a critical condition. The authorities have ordered a magisterial probe into the incident and suspended 5 excise officials. 4 people, including the main accused Anil Chaudhary, have been arrested. A reward of 50,000 rupees each has been declared for the arrests of 2 of his associates, Vipin Yadav and Rishi Sharma. Notably, there are over 500 government liquor shops in Aligarh district alone. Of these, 5 shops have been sealed, while the rest of them have been ordered to stay closed until further notice. The liquor from the sealed shops is being sent for testing in a laboratory. The Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath has directed officials to run a surprise raid campaign during the next 48 hours. The Ministry of Education, Department of Higher Education today launched Yuva, the Prime Minister's scheme for mentoring young authors, an authorship mentorship program to train young and budding authors in order to promote reading, writing and book culture in the country and to project India and Indian writing globally. The launch of Yuva, Young, Upcoming and Versatile Authors, is in tune with the Prime Minister's vision to encourage young writers to write about India's freedom struggle. Yuva is a part of India at 75 project Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav to bring to the fore the perspectives of the young generation of writers on themes like unsung heroes, freedom fighters, unknown and forgotten places, and their role in the national movement, and other related themes in an innovative and creative manner. A total of 75 authors will be selected through the All India contest to be conducted through the mygov.in portal, and this will be from June 1 to the 31st of July 2021. The winners will be announced on the 15th of August, Independence Day this year. The young authors will be trained by eminent authors and mentors. An interministerial team of the central government visited Amreli district to assess the loss caused by cyclone Taukte that hit Gujarat on the 17th of this month. The team visited various villages of Amreli district and they took stock of the damage. Amreli district collector informed the team that out of 640 electricity poles that collapsed during the cyclone, more than 500 had been restored already. Power is being gradually restored to hospitals, government offices, banks and residential properties. The collector told the team that priority is being given to providing drinking water, and people are being provided 70 litres of water per person every day. In line with the Prime Minister's vision of Make in India and a fine example of Atmanirbhar Bharat, the Indian Coast Guard ship Sajag. It was commissioned by the National Security Advisor Ajit Doval today. The ICG ship is the third in a series of 5 offshore patrol vessels which have been indigenously designed and built by the Goa shipyard. Let's give you a fact check now. Well, the Union government has refuted a claim wherein it was claimed that this is a provision to provide assistance of 4 lakh rupees in case of death due to COVID-19 under the State Disaster Response Fund. Well, the Press Information Bureau of the Government of India has termed this claim as fake, saying that there is no such provision in the accepted norms under the State Disaster Response Fund. You're watching the midday news here on Saturday, the weekend midday news. We're going to take a short break, and when we come back, we'll give you global news.
Namaste, India.
Namaste.